The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, let's have an honest talk together. Should you buy? Should you sell? What is going on in this real estate market right now? It's not as bad as you might think. It's all just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate. I'm attorney Justin Clark. If you're in debt and find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, call me now or visit youhavepower.com today. Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice out the way. Any questions whatsoever during the program, the phone number is right here, 407-205-0400. Let's say you want to start your house hunt this weekend. Find your dream home. You'll need to get pre-approved or pre-qualified. Dallas Lehman is literally sitting by his phone as we speak right now, ready to answer it to get you pre-approved to start that house hunt. Great show today. You will not want to miss a single second. But first, the opening statement. All right, look, we can all agree this is a weird time in Florida real estate. When the pandemic hit, we were like, oh, what's going to happen? And then the market went unbelievably crazy. And it was great for sellers. But quite honestly, it was difficult for buyers. It was hard for you buyers to find a house. You would put offers in on 20, 30 homes, and maybe none of them got accepted. So we have ingrained in our head right now as buyers that we can't negotiate. Well, things have changed slightly. We're still bullish on this market, okay? This market is not going to crash. Level out, of course. Crash, never going to happen. But buyers are asking me, Justin, I'm afraid to try to negotiate. I'm afraid to negotiate anything in that contract because I have heard you can't get an offer accepted. Has that changed for you buyers? And then for you sellers who have heard about you can just demand anything, astronomical price, what should you do right now if a buyer comes to you and tries to negotiate a little bit? Should you negotiate with them or say, no way. FHA, I'm not dealing with you. Where are we at right now? It's a very valid question, and a question that we're going to answer by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Kick it off today with our good friend who threatened to charge me for her appearance on the program today. True story. Rose Kemp is here. Hello, Rose. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. You're obviously a big wig over at ORRA, but you're a practicing real estate agent, of course, as well. So you not only see it from up here, like what's really going on in the community, but you see it down in the trenches as well. And let's get right to it. If you're a buyer right now, it's been ingrained in your head the last 2 years, you can't ask for anything, nothing. No closing costs, no reduction in price. That's what we've been trained the last 2 years. What are you seeing right now for buyers?
A continuous fast-moving market, and yes, that is true. That was the trend, and you could not negotiate. Again, like you said, because there'd be 20 to 30 offers, so you'd have to put in your highest and best and hope that you had a shot. Totally different now. You can absolutely negotiate now, and especially for all those buyers that got stuck having to go and rent something for a couple of years because they just could not get into anything, let alone our FHA buyers and our VA buyers, they really had a hard time. And even conventional loans had a hard time if they weren't doing 20 or 30% down. Now the beauty of it is we have more listings coming on the market, so there's new listings. Sellers are priced a lot more in line with what true value is. So you don't have to worry about so many appraisal issues as well. And a buyer can negotiate, and those buyers that got left out of the market, this is their time. And it's exciting, actually. It's really exciting. So we're seeing a lot of buyers come back to the market, and if they're working with a realtor and a professional, they will find themselves negotiating. Even if the realtor says to you, on the other end, when you put in your offer that they have multiple offers or they just received another offer, you could still put in different terms. Don't be afraid to negotiate at this point.
And at the risk of me sounding boring, because I've been saying this every week for a couple months now, I understand interest rates are up, and they're up significantly if you look at it over the last couple of years, but if you look at it historically, the rates are fine where they are now. Is it safe to say that this market that we're in now, despite the prices being up and the interest rates being up, might be a better market now for a buyer than it was a year and a half ago?
Absolutely, because that same house you were looking at last year might be actually more reasonably priced. The comparable home might be more reasonably priced. And again, now you're able to negotiate. So if a buyer does need some closing costs or needs help getting into that property, this is the market to do it. And you know, I've been in business 23 years, and truth be told, you know, the interest rates we're at right now, we're great, we're fine. And I know people that have bought properties in the last 40 years at 17, 18% interest. Because at the end of the day, if you go rent, that's 100% nothing. 100% interest, you get zero. So when you own your home, then you can build that equity and you get something out of it. So, you know, you're better off purchasing and understanding, you know, that the interest rates we had when post-COVID and all that stuff happened, you know, that was historical too. Yeah. That was, you know, I like to say a fabricated market in a way. You know, obviously COVID was not a fabricated situation, but the market became that because we had to do something to jolt it, and that's where we're at now. We're in the what I feel we are now, it's just a better market now.
I just got a tingly feeling actually thinking about the first house I ever bought. And when you work with buyers, I'm not doing this to be dramatic, or even a buyer who used to own a house, but maybe they went through a foreclosure and they've been renting for a while, now they're buying a new house.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 6%, 5%, 7% on the interest rate. That feeling, that tingly feeling that I just got thinking about it, describe that feeling when you're working for a buyer and you see the family smiling.
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world. You know, when I'm working with first-time home buyers, and I get to do that quite a bit now because I am a generational realtor, so now I'm selling homes to, like, you know, my customers' kids.
Right.
And it is so exciting when you get them out of renting and knowing that the rental factor right now, the market is so high. They're actually buying a property, even at today's interest rate, they're going to buy a property. It's going to be so much better than a rental for so much less.
Absolutely.
And they're going to start building up their equity. And I see more and more millennials buying homes. My daughter bought her first home 2 years ago at 23 years old. So, and a lot of her friends are buying properties. They're smarter these days, you know, it feels like that.
Not afraid to negotiate.
Exactly. They're definitely living on the edge, buying properties under 30. It's great.
You brought us a couple properties here to look at, to show what's literally on the market right now. That's why I love doing the show, to real time tell you what's going on in the market now. And let's start here on Waterside. Tell me about this property.
So Waterside, it's 1751 Waterside Oaks, and it's in a gated community called Oakhurst Golf Estates. We're asking $379,000, perfect for your first-time home buyer or somebody downsizing. It's in Volusia County. That's where Orange City's at. It's 1,908 heated square feet. It's got a great floor plan, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath with a 2-car garage. Ready for move-in, which is awesome. It is in a gated community. It has no rear neighbors and lots of open space in the back with a wooded area. Financing can be cash, can be conventional, can be FHA, or can be VA. Yes, and so that's really exciting.
I love it. And that Southwest Volusia County area, like I tell you sometimes, is still a bang for your buck there. And it's, you know, this is not Daytona Beach, it's Volusia County, but it's like that different Southwest area where right on I-4 and get into town.
It's right off of I-4, and you know, I'm in downtown Orlando. It takes me 25 minutes to get there. It really does. I mean, obviously I don't go in traffic hour, but it's 25 minutes. Their HOA in this community is also really reasonable. It's $260 quarterly.
Beautiful,
yeah,
love it.
So.
And then finally today, Culver Road, where is that?
That is in East Orlando, over off of Dean Road, actually, kind of East Colonial area. That particular property is a fixer-upper, okay? It was built in 1983, and it's got 1,248 heated square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It does sit on 1.17 acres, which is the real beauty of it, and very valuable, with no homeowners association. So perfect for somebody that might have a business that needs to put a lot of materials or stuff on their property, or maybe they just want to demolish it and build a large home, depending on what the county allows. checking into future land use. I know it's great for investors as well. So,
or for someone who's sick of some elderly gentleman measuring their grass every couple weeks and sending a letter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. But it's actually, it's a really nice area there. I hadn't really been into that little area. All the properties on that Culver Road are all about 1 acre and very well maintained. It's a really nice, peaceful area. So
many people come in my office saying, I will not buy anything in an HOA anymore.
True story,
I hear it a lot.
but there's also the benefits of the HOA because people get upset when the neighbor paints their house fire engine red. I've had that happen.
We will save that debate for another show because that might be a long show. Rose Kemp, great job as always.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
I love coming and seeing you here.
I love having you too.
I'm not going to charge you.
Okay, that's very nice. Last appearance for free? Good deal.
You could buy me lunch.
Uh-oh, we're throwing things now. Here's what we're going to do. Very quick break. When we return, let's continue the advice for you buyers about what you can negotiate now and show you some other amazing properties on the market right now as You Have Real Estate continues. If you own a home, you need to listen up. I have a special offer for you. Go ahead and get your phone out. I'm putting a QR code on the screen right now. You're going to want to swipe it because windows and doors, one of the most important parts of your home for sure, and there's one place to call if you have any issues with your windows or doors, and that's Renewal by Andersen, joined as always by Dan Brigman. Dan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Justin. How are you today?
And for the first time, not his television debut, I'm hearing Eric Clay is here. Eric, how are you, sir? Welcome.
I'm great, Justin. Thanks.
So windows, a lot of people don't know they need them. They don't know how important they are to the house. What you do is real design consulting for people at home who think maybe it's time I get my windows updated, but this is a free service. You go to their house. How does that work, Eric?
Well, basically what we'll do is we'll set up a consultation. We'll go into their house. We'll look and see what your current windows look like. And if we see some issues that maybe we want to take a look at and investigate a little further, then what we'll do is we'll see if we have something that will work out better for your solution. Such as, you could have a single pane window. We want to go ahead and upgrade and get you more energy efficiency.
And it's not just energy efficiency, which is huge, especially with the electricity bills now, but also they look so much better.
Way better. So there's not a better looking window than a Renewal by Andersen window on the market.
And some people, Dan, are concerned about maybe the cost. Your costs are incredibly competitive with the windows you're selling, but also you offer programs for making the payment very easy.
Absolutely. Look, payment is, we don't want payment to be a reason that you do not purchase windows from us. As a matter of fact, the energy savings, the real estate value gain on this, but at the end of the day, windows are essentially free these days. Yeah.
Dan, always a pleasure to see you. Eric, great to meet you. You better come back and see us as well. Here's the deal. These windows pay for themselves. It's going to save you every month on your electricity bill. No interest, easy payments. Renewal by Andersen. Welcome back to the show, and I love it when I have two new victims here with me.
Victims.
Victims. I'm just kidding. We're going to be nice to you, I promise. Alena Rivera, how are you? Great to see you.
Very well.
And Patricia Cheeks, great to be
Wonderful.
here. Glad to have you here, I should say.
Thank you.
And let's continue this debate a little bit right now because it has been a very quickly evolving real estate world over the last, 2.5 years now. And it was ingrained in our head as buyers that we had no negotiating power whatsoever. And I think that buyers are still, when they go out there now, thinking they can't negotiate at all. Is that true, and what should I negotiate now?
Not true.
Okay, good.
No, not true at all. And I think that the fear of them being a first-time home buyer or even a second-time home buyer, and they're watching the market change and they're not understanding. And sometimes they can get the wrong information, and that fear sits in. So my role is to kind of educate them and say, no, that's not true. You do have negotiating powers. Let's look at what the offer is going to be. What are you asking for? And let's see what the homeowner is willing to compromise on. A lot of times it could be in repairs. They may want to I'll make an offer and say, don't repair that, or I'll buy the property, once they do a home inspection, you have that room to negotiate as well.
Right. As
long as everybody understanding that it's in writing and this is what we agreed upon. So you can have negotiating power. Now, if the buying power is a little less or the funds are not almost there.
Yeah. I hear these national headlines about, drastic price reductions throughout the nation. And that scares people thinking that, oh, wow, we have a collapse coming. When in reality, I think maybe we were pricing houses so high before because why not?
It was
We'll
crazy.
throw it against the wall, see what
Right.
happens. I mean, are you seeing a lot of price reductions, and what does that mean to you?
I mean, I think we could price it at the top end, even if it was in poor condition, because there was such a high demand with the low interest rates. But what drove up the price, it wasn't necessarily because the realtors are overpricing it, it was the competition, right? So now what we're seeing is, yes, they may be adjusting, but what I'm seeing is they're just going back to the market value instead of that ridiculous 30, 40 above market value.
Yeah. For someone who hasn't bought a lot of houses yet, they see the settlement statement, you know, when they go to closing or hopefully a couple of days before, and it looks like it's written in Chinese. I mean, people don't understand what these numbers mean, but then you always hear about, well, we're going to have the seller pay some of the closing costs. What does that mean exactly when the seller contributes towards closing costs?
Well, that means that, without the seller's help, a lot of times the buyer could be priced out. They need that help. They couldn't close. And, you got the buyer and you have the seller. And they're negotiating as long as the seller is willing to pay and the buyer, and it's within the guidelines of financing guidelines. Some of them, the lenders, you can't pay all of the closing costs. So we have to know which loan package that will allow, and then we have to see how much the person needs. Then we go to the seller, and then we bring the buyer and the seller together to negotiate. And then that's how we make it work.
What are we seeing now when an appraisal is coming in low? So you make an offer on a house, you're going to get a mortgage, the mortgage company gets an appraisal done to make sure that the house is worth it. And then if the appraisal comes in lower than the offer price, sometimes you got to make some adjustments there. What are we doing now?
Or sometimes it would kill the deal.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes it would kill the deal. When we list the property, I think listing the property is the key, because sometimes you have to do your homework. You have to make sure that the property is not overpriced, and then you have to, and especially this market is coming in now because last year, as you know, the prices was really up there.
Yeah.
So now we got a 25-30% drop, and unfortunately, the homeowner is still thinking that I can get this high market value.
That's right.
And so when it comes in, now you got a low appraisal because things have changed.
Yeah.
So I think one of the key is to make sure that the seller is aware of what's happening in the current market. So when and let them know there's a possibility. We could list this, we could put this there, but are you prepared if the appraiser comes in $25,000 or $30,000 lower?
And when it does, the listing agent can always say, I told you.
Exactly.
So, right.
Cover yourself, right?
Now you brought, Alena, a great little property here. It looks brand new on paper. These pictures make it look brand new. Yvonne Street, where is this?
Yvonne Street, so 1706 Yvonne Street, located in Apopka, Florida. So it's right near Wekiva State Springs Park, Wekiva Island, close to, I would say, like 15-20 minutes from downtown, northwest Orlando. Great property, built in 2001, just over 2,000 square feet. Open kitchen floor plan, as you can see, fully updated, remodeled. The seller is just amazing with the renovations that he's made. Sits on over half an acre of land, and my favorite part about this property is that it has no HOA, and it is also unincorporated.
Oh, wow.
Unincorporated, so you can have chickens and horses and all that,
Really?
And
With the cost of eggs.
with the cost of eggs,
course.
this is like,
That's true.
And of course, in
The greatest
Apopka, close access to Three Odd Guys Brewing, of course.
Yes.
I heard Philip Deems in the background
Yeah, no,
saying
Apopka's
woohoo.
growing.
Apopka it really is a booming city. If you haven't been there
is.
lately, still decent bang for your buck, and it really is growing up around you. Now, what do we see? What do you think is going to happen with the real estate market over the rest of the year? Up, down, stagnant? What are you seeing?
I think it's location.
Yes.
Because in the Claremont area, I mean, she's speaking of Apopka, in the Claremont area, doing my research, I think we're one of the fastest growing cities in Central Florida.
Really?
Yes, indeed. And we have a lot of big attractions coming in there now. And I mean, the road infrastructure is just getting crazy because they're trying to connect Claremont to all of the other surrounding cities.
And the parks.
Yeah, exactly. But now, as far as price, what do I see? I see things kind of leveling off. I don't see a high increase, and I don't see a drastic decrease.
Yeah.
I think we're going to plateau off for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, we got a lot of things going on with the war and Ukraine, and we don't know what's going. You know, so everybody's kind of like, you know, kind of sitting there, kind of waiting, playing the waiting game. But I think we're going to kind of plateau right now. Stay stable.
Let me tell you, it ain't 2008.
No,
all right,
it's
I'll
not.
leave you with that. We're not going to have an epic collapse. I feel great about where we are. Whether you're buying or selling, I think now is a very even Steven time for everyone. I think this is a relatively healthy market still on the seller side, to be honest with you. What a pleasure. Great job. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming in.
You're quite welcome.
I'm so glad you made it. A quick break. You Have Real Estate continues.
You can be an agent that struggles to get ahead in the competitive real estate world, or you can learn from the best and achieve success. Visit youhaveafutureinrealestate.com and sign up for the Jumpstart program. Get coaching tips and important tools that will help you jumpstart your real estate career. Sign up today and get 10% off your Jumpstart program when you use code word LEARN. Visit youhaveafutureinrealestate.com today and gain the real estate knowledge you need to succeed.
Do I ever have a very special gift for you today? Compliments our good friends over at Universal Roof and Contracting. 15% off your roofing job. The roof is the most important part of your house. No doubt about it. Welcome my good friends as always, Justin and Corey. How are you today?
Good, man. Good. Thank you.
The roof is the most important part of the house, but sometimes deciding who your roofing company is going to be is the most important decision as well. Culture is everything. When determining who's going to do your roofing job, Universal, the culture over there blows me away. Trustworthy. Tell me about the culture at Universal.
Yeah, I mean, 30 years in the making, right? Family-owned, veteran-owned, same name and ownership over the past 3 decades. We're so proud to be so rooted in Orlando, and we have offices in Jacksonville and Southwest Florida, but the honest approach, the integrity we carry, working transparently with insurance companies and homeowners alike. I mean, we approach roofing the way an honest company really should.
Trusted by some of the biggest sports teams in Florida as well.
That's right. That's right. We this past season we were the one of the partners with the Jacksonville Jaguars, which was awesome. They had a great season this year too. And then just coming next month, the XFL, the Orlando Guardians. We are the official roofer for the Orlando Guardians, so we're excited to go out to those games and see everybody there. So it'll be great.
A roof can be expensive. You've created great programs to make this roof not cost prohibitive for me.
Yeah, I mean, last thing we're going to do is take food off people's plates to afford a roof. So we have a ton of flexible financing plans that just keeps things very liquid for homeowners, even if they don't want to use their own money, even if they have it at the time, you know, so we offer that as well for every roof replacement.
I have this QR code on the screen right now. Get your phone out or go to their website, but the QR code will go directly to Justin and Corey, and literally you get 15% off. But guys, you're going to come to my house and tell me what I really need, honestly.
Absolutely, yeah. Free inspection, first of all. It does cost nothing for us to come out. We're going to sit down with you, hear what you like about your roof, what you don't like about your roof, what problems you've had, and come up with a custom scope of work that makes sense for you.
Always a pleasure to see you both. There's only one company we trust when it comes to roofing. That is Universal Roof and Contracting. And wrapping it up today, and very happy to do so, first-time visitor Anthony Freites is here. Anthony, how are you, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Let me ask you a question, and this kind of gets right to it. When I'm hiring a real estate agent to sell my home, there's a bunch of different options, right? You got Coldwell Banker, KW, all these different options. How important do you think that logo next to your agent or broker's name really is when it comes to selling my house?
I think more like the logo. You have to look what's the kind of experience that a real estate agent have, how many transactions he closes every year, how he can deal with the issues, how he know about market, everything about real estate. Real estate is very complicated.
Yeah.
It's a lot of thing around the case, so you need somebody with experience.
And so would you say then that your agent's personal experience, maybe their knowledge of that area, that particular house, is that more important than that logo after their name?
Yes, definitely.
I totally agree with that. Like, I'm not super concerned with the logo next to your agent's name. I am concerned about the agent that you use. The agent that you choose can make a difference, whether it's buying or selling real estate, can't it?
Yeah, like my career, I work in little office for the last 12 years. In my office, closed over 1,000 families in the last 10 years. So I don't have a big logo. pretty much in my office, just me and my assistants.
Right.
I mean, now I got my brokerage, I got 12 agents, but before it was pretty much just me.
I've been warning them at home about reading the national articles about the real estate market nationally and how it's going badly and we're about to tank. The Central Florida real estate community, I think, is different than the national real estate picture.
Definitely.
How are we different here versus, say, Kansas?
We got people from everywhere. Everybody, especially now after the all those happened before the COVID. Everybody want to be in Central Florida, especially. I deal with people from Colombia, Panama, so we had to deal with different kind of person, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the international market does change our market here a little bit too, because Orlando has become a cool city. It's become a cool international city where you just go to the outlet malls, and see who is there. We have a lot of international visitors, which turns into international buyers, which really can affect positively our real estate market.
Yes.
What are you seeing? Are you seeing the international buyers increase, decrease, stay the same?
Increase.
Really?
Increase. I do event every year on Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Panama. Over there, it's a lot of people want to invest money in Central Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think is attractive about Central Florida to these international buyers?
I mean, the parks, Disney, Universal, we the most famous tourists,
When's the last time you've been to Disney World? Be honest.
5 years.
Same. It's been a while.
Yeah.
They all fly and spend all their money here, and I'm like, I don't even want to go.
They think we go to Disney every day.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
no.
It's like, oh, you live in Orlando, you must be at Disney every other day. I'm like, no, it's been like a decade, but hey.
I don't have time for that.
No, you're too busy out there selling real estate.
Yeah.
What do you see happening over the rest of this year in this real estate market? We're here right now. Are we going to go here, stay here, go down? What do you think?
No, I think we're very solid. We're very solid. Our market. I mean, I'm receiving phone call every day.
Yeah.
Every single day. We put in transaction every week. So this is a very good market.
Seller's market or buyer's market right now?
In my case, both.
Both.
Because remember, all those families I saw in the last 10 years, now they want to lease also their homes. So
yeah.
in my both.
It's a healthy market. It's way healthier now than it was a year ago.
This is the
and 2
normal
years ago.
market.
Right.
This is the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
The way it is now.
I agree. We've been saying on the show for a long time that for buyers, like it's better to be a buyer now, even with the higher interest rates, than it was a year ago or 2 years ago, because you couldn't buy a house. You were absolutely just shut out. Anthony, what a pleasure it was to have you on the show. Let's do this again sometime. How was that?
Sure.
Thank you for joining me. Most importantly, thank you for joining me here this weekend and every weekend on You Have Real Estate. If you want to get pre-approved, you want to find your dream home, Dallas Lehman is standing by. As you know, literally right now, Hand has a phone in it to answer your calls to get you pre-approved to find your dream home. Very special thanks to our team here on the other side of this room. They are absolutely fantastic. Here's what you're going to do. 407-205-0400 with any questions whatsoever. I'm attorney Justin Clark. I'll see you again next week for more You Have Real Estate.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.